What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk. Colossal Boxing Talk is associated with Three Kings Boxing under the movement umbrella, and I am back with another video. In today's video, I will be giving you my recap and thoughts on yesterday's unification bout between Yunier Dorticos-Murat Gassiev in the Cruiserweight WBSS tournament. Yunier Dorticos was the WBA champion. Gassiev was the IBF champion, and this fight leading up to it was predicted not to go the distance, and that is exactly what happened. Although it did almost go 12 rounds, Gassiev put the closing touches on a terrific performance by dropping Yunier Dorticos 3 times in the 12th round to stop it, to unify the IBF and WBA cruiserweight titles. Now he moves on to the WBSS cruiserweight tournament final against Alexander Usyk, who is the WBO and WBC unified cruiserweight champion. The winner of that fight will be the undisputed cruiserweight champion, the first since the late O'Neal Bell back in 2005. So those guys, one of those two, will go down in the history books forever. But let's talk about the action. I meant to make a breakdown and prediction video on this fight because I had been studying film on both guys, but some stuff popped up, so I wasn't able to, put that out, get that video out there. But I did predict Dorticos would win via, a knockout. I didn't want to say what round, but before 9, so anywhere between 6 to 8 rounds, I thought that he would be able to get Murat Gassiev out of there, just because from what I've seen on the and studying film on Gassiev, he's hittable with the straight shots. I remember against Isaiah Thomas back in 2015 in a fight that was ruled a no contest due to Gassiev hitting him after the bell in the 3rd round of their fight. Thomas was just hitting him with the straight left hand. He was a southpaw, I add. And it wasn't that he was hurting Gassiev. It was just that he was hitting him with the straight, left hand off the ropes. He was able to turn him. He was able to outbox him. And he was actually winning that fight before that the fight came to an abrupt end due to, him being hit by Gassiev after the bell. And then I was watching, Denis Lebedev versus Murat Gassiev, and Lebedev started off very good in that fight. He's a southpaw as well, and he was popping the jab, and he was hitting Gassiev with the straight left. He was turning him. He was working the body, and Lebedev is a very good fighter. I don't know why he wasn't in this tournament to begin with, but, that was a good fight up until Gassiev started to get in his rhythm, and it all turned, I believe, in the 4th or 5th round when he landed his patent left hook to the body. And, from that moment in that fight, it went downhill for Lebedev, and Gassiev went on to win, a unanimous decision and become the IBF Cruiserweight champion. And I just figured from watching, those fights and a few more that Gassiev would wilt under the power of the KO doctor Yunier Dorticos. But in watching some of Dorticos fights, I didn't think it would be an easy path to the victory. Although I thought he would get it, I thought that of course he was gonna get hit because he's hittable. In his fight against Carlinga for the WBA interim cruiserweight championship. That was a fight. That was a fire fight. That was a fight of the year type fight. Both guys were hurt. Both guys were hit a lot. It was, hellacious exchanges, hellacious punches thrown and landed. It was just an action fight from the beginning to the end. But Yunier Dorticos' power, allowed him to prevail via 10th round 10 KO, TKO to capture the WBA interim title. So we all know that Yunier Dorticos is very hittable. He doesn't employ a lot of movement in his style. He has a very good jab. The right hand is his money punch. I mean, he can lay anybody out in the cruiserweight division if he lands that shot on you. And I just thought that his explosiveness would, lead him to victory in this fight, but I was wrong. Credit to Gassiev, who fights in a high guard. It's hard to really penetrate. I don't want to say is Arthur Abraham is a exact Arthur Abraham type, shell with the arms completely up, but it's similar. It's like a hybrid. It's hard to really penetrate that guard, and Dorticos found that out the hard way. He was just firing off that right hand, hoping that it would penetrate and find a hole to split down the guard of Gassiev, but that just didn't happen. He was working behind his jab early on in the fight, pumping the jab, establishing the ring generalship, effective aggressiveness, you know what I'm saying? Because Gassiev just, elected to fight off of his back foot, which and until he gave up ground. He found his back on the ropes numerous times in the first half of the fight, at least the first 3 rounds. And maybe that was just a part of his strategy to kind of, allow Dorticos to, use a little more energy than maybe he wanted to begin that fight. But it did work. As the fight progressed, I gave Dorticos the first 3 rounds. You can make an argument that the 3rd round could have been scored a 10-10 round. That's just how close it was, in my opinion. And if you disagree, give me your scorecard in the comment section below. I'd love to talk about it and go back and forth. But as the fight went on, Gassiev started to land more and more left hooks up top. He was always landing the body shots. He was mixing them up, and when I seen it, I was like, yep, he's starting to put in the work early. And you all know, going to the body early and often will pay dividends later on in the fight, because you're slowly starting to break the opponent down even before they even know it. It may not visibly be, seeing where they gasping or, bent over, but those body shots hurt, especially from a guy who's 25-0 with 18 knockouts. The power is evident. He was landing the left hooks to the body. He would land some right hooks to the body as well. And, he would go up top. Like, his left hook is, just his left hand in general. Left hook to the body, left hook up top, the left jab is just, his best set of punches, you know what I'm saying? And he hit Dorticos at will. I mean, Dorticos couldn't get out of the fucking way of that left hand if I pushed him out of the way. And that's being serious. I mean, he showed very little head movement. He didn't do any turning of Gassiev to try to get him out of rhythm or to, stay clear of that left hand. And, Gassiev kind of shocked me and shocked, Dorticos with his ability to counter over Dorticos' jab with the right hand. He caught him a few times in this fight and shook him up with the right hand. Like I said, Gassiev is a very powerful guy to the head and to the body. He's well conditioned. He paces himself. He doesn't, fight helter-skelter. And that's what, allowed him to prevail. I mean, Dorticos didn't make the proper adjustments. And if you watch film on Gassiev from 2015 or whenever to see him now, you can tell that he's progressed under Abel Sanchez. He's slowly but surely, he's, rounding out to a hell of a fighter. He's not as easy to hit no more with the straight punches. And, he has very good endurance and good stamina for a guy in the cruiserweight division. And, as the fight progressed, like I said, he just started really landing shots at will. I had it scored 4-4 after 8. I gave, Gassiev rounds 4 through 7. After, I scored the first 3 for Dorticos. And I gave Dorticos the 8th round just off of, he did some solid work. And, Gassiev appeared to take that round off. But from there, it was, Gassiev, it was him. He started to hurt him more. He started to apply more pressure. And Dorticos was still kind of starting to push his shots as the fight wore on. And the fatigue started to kick in. The steam on them shots had less and less effect. He was pushing the jab at times. The right hand was, non-effective. And what tripped me out about the fight is that all Dorticos had to do is, when you see something not working, you got to implement game plan number 2, plan B. And although he did some body work early, it wasn't enough. He couldn't penetrate the guard of Gassiev, or he couldn't loop the shots around the guard of Gassiev. So if that's not working, it tells you, maybe I need to go to the body. If he would have went to the body more with the jab, the left hook, the right hand, and with, definitely how he goes up top, sitting on those punches and just hitting that body every chance that he got, hitting the arms, I'm guaranteeing you he would have been able to get Gassiev to drop those hands, and those headshots would have been available. But he failed to adjust. He failed to make the proper, adjustments, and he paid for it. He paid for it. And wow, Gassiev varied his attack, body, head, consistently throughout the fight. Dorticos didn't do that. He was sporadic with the body shots, and like I said, he was head hunting, and he rarely got any, good, straight right hands to land flush on Gassiev. So I mean, it was a good fight. It was a close fight in the first half. I mean, 8-4 score. It would have been that if Dorticos would have seen the whole 12 round, but instead he got knocked out in the 12th round, got dropped 3 times, and now he has to regroup. Murat Gassiev, excuse me. He goes on to fight Alexander Usyk for the right to become the undisputed Cruiserweight champion in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I believe that fight is going to take place May 11th. I can't wait for that fight because it's going to be an interesting clash of styles. Usyk is a totally different fighter from Dorticos. He's more fundamentally sound. He's faster. He has quicker feet, so he's going to give Gassiev a different look. And likewise with Gassiev, he's different from any guy that Usyk has fought. The way he is able to work the body, he has underrated hand speed, and he's a power puncher. He has a good jab, good stamina, and he has underrated countering ability. So I can't wait to see how that fight plays out. I can't wait to study and break down that fight. But if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Drop those comments in the comment section below. Let me know what are your thoughts on my recap and how I saw the fight. And if you've seen it differently, let me know. Subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Head over to Facebook, like the Colossal Boxing Talk Facebook page. Support the movement. I can't talk this morning. Prodigy of Boxing Talk, Eastwick Boxing, Four Corners Boxing Talk, Three Kings Boxing, Truth and Facts About Boxing. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.